from Chatfield Hollow State Park, which is just north of Hammonasset Beach State Park. Another beautiful park within the state of Connecticut park system. We have a lot of them, over 100 parks around the state. Lots of ability to get out and hike and enjoy the parks while they remain open. And the way that they're going to stay open is if everybody maintains social distance. You need to keep 3 possums away from people that are not living in your house with you. If you're out, you need to stay 3 possums away from everybody that you're not living with, okay? You also need to cough into your elbow. You need to wash your hands. Don't touch your face. All of these things will help keep you safe and healthy. And we all want to be safe and healthy. We also want to be able to get out in the parks. And this is a beautiful park. This is a really neat little spot here at Chatfield Hollow. I'm sort of between the roads. There's a really nice little fishing place over here. You can fish in this river. Down below there's a pond you can fish in. There's a pond up above you can fish in. So great little park, very popular fishermen. It gets a little crowded here sometimes, but we're trying to keep that people spread out. Okay, today's program is going to be a little bit different than what I've done in the past. We're just going to walk along through the woods here. We're going to see what I can find, what we can talk about, and we'll talk about it as we go. So let me turn the camera around so you're seeing what I'm looking at. Now, we talked about skunk cabbage this morning. There's a lot of skunk cabbage in there. If you want to see any of the videos that we've done in the past, including this morning's video, you can go to meigspointnaturecenter.org, go to the Virtual Learning Center, and you'll have an opportunity to see all of the programs that we've done. I want to show you right down there. I don't know if you can see it, but remember we talked about the skunk cabbage flower? Right there, that's the purple spathe of the skunk cabbage. This is underwater. Normally not going to be underwater. We had some rain. It's a little flooded down there, but it can grow in the water. So usually you find them up here on the shore. Right here in front of me, this is an old, I don't think it's really alive anymore, but this is an old high bush blueberry. I love high bush blueberries. If anybody eats blueberries, high bush blueberry, really yummy. The birds love them too. So here we have some princess pines. Okay, they're not a pine tree. More closely related to ferns. They're not a moss. Some people call them a club moss. They're not a moss or a pine. They're more closely related to ferns. And what you see up on the surface here is only the external part of the growth. That's last year's little catkin thing there. They probably don't call them catkins because that's usually a pine tree. But that's the little seed pods from last year. So what you're seeing above ground, a small part of the plant. Below the ground, there are rhizomes. And that's sort of like a root growing along, and then the growth will pop up through. These can cover, a single plant can cover acres. So these could all be from the same plant. These are just different surface growths of the same princess pine. I love the princess pines. They're everywhere. And I believe they're still listed in the state of Connecticut as special concern or threatened. I don't know if they're endangered or not. We'll have to look that one up for you, and I can post that. But rhizome, there's a really good vocabulary word. Now, is anybody seeing, you see all this red on the ground here? This is from a maple, a red maple specifically, and this is a red maple right here growing. Looks like there's another one behind me. They're actually all around me. Red maples are also called swamp maples because of where they like to live. You can see how moist it is down here. And these are the little flowering bits that have already dropped off, and there are buds growing up on the plant. So we're going to start to see leaves very soon. Red maple should be leafing out soon. Let's get a close look at a bud here. Actually, I'm not even sure if this is from the same tree. No, it's not, but we can show you. And then we can look over here. Here's a nice, healthy high bush blueberry. And hopefully this one will have blueberries. When I go looking for blueberries, I never find them because birds love to eat them and they always get to them before I do. Here's another high bush blueberry. This is going to be a great spot in a few months when the blueberries are all out. Lots of blueberries in this area. Okay, so we're going to head over here and see what other things we can find to talk about. Well, here's something interesting. Here's a dead tree, okay? It is hung up, so I don't really want to walk under this one. We're going to walk around it. But the thing that I noticed right away, look at all the bark on the ground. So this tree died and the bark all shredded off, so there's probably going to be insect damage. And here it is. You can see signs of insects boring away inside of the plant, of the tree. And then when it died, the bark just flaked right off in big sheets, big chunks of bark. And I'm wondering if this is ash. I'm not as good with the bark as some people. Actually, Bob might be watching. Bob is my tree expert, so we'll see if he can identify the tree just by looking at this bark. And if he can, we'll post what this tree is. Okay, that would be really cool. We're gonna have to reach out, make sure Bob sees this video. All right, so we got a little trail here. You can see that's the road up above. Beautiful little brook. The water is really flowing. It doesn't flow like this all year. This is just springtime. Maybe we should just sit and listen to the water. I don't know how well you can hear it, but it's pretty cool right here. All right, how cool is that? So let's move along a little bit. So I'm seeing another one of my favorite trees. This is an American beech tree. And the beech leave their leaves. These are last year's leaves. And they will stay on all winter. They'll fall off when the new leaves start popping out. These will fall off. But all winter you can see beautiful color in these trees. So absolutely awesome that we have these beech trees here with their leaves still on them. Here's another one. Beautiful smooth bark on a beech tree. I love the smooth bark. Smooth white bark. Now it looks like we've got some white oak over here. There's a nice big one, but look at the knot on that. So there are a few things that can cause knots, damage, disease. Let's swing around over here, get a good look at the knot in that tree. I know that woodworkers like to have those. They can carve them into really cool things. So that's very neat right there. All right. Someone is saying they can hear the water. That's awesome. And it is much better in person. I will have to say it's beautiful. It's a bit breezy today, but the wind and the water together make a beautiful sound out here in the forest. Lots of beeches. If you look through the forest, you can see there's a nice big, thick American beech right there. There's one here. Here's a small one. So we've got quite a lot of them around us. Let's go down here. See what other things that we can find. Now, someone's asking, is that a burl? I believe that yes, that's what they carve. That's where you get burl wood out of, are those really nice knots in the tree. All right. I see something. Oh, look at this. Could this be a vernal pool? Now, I've talked a little bit about amphibians. We've done a couple of programs about amphibians. And a lot of them, this is where they like to lay their eggs, or vernal pools. I'm going to look and see if I see any frogs. Everybody look for movement. Frogs or toads. We may be lucky enough. So we're really a little bit too late to see the wood frogs. The wood frogs should have already laid their eggs. Spotted salamanders also probably already laid their eggs, but other frogs should be coming down to lay their eggs. I think we're a little early for like the pickerel frog and the gray tree frogs. I'm seeing a fungus growing on this. Now this, I don't know what this is, but that's pretty neat. Look at that, and it's pretty hard too. One of them came off there. Let's take a look at this. It didn't come off easily. These are on there. That's really neat. Here's another thing for our experts to try and identify for us. Really, really cool. Not sure what kind of fungus that is. Pretty sure it's a fungus though. All right, so if we look around in this pond, can we see any eggs? I'm not seeing any eggs, and the reason might be that this pond just filled up with that rain we just had yesterday. So if that's the case, now I do see there are insects moving around down there. They took cover before I could identify them. But this may not be a pool that was here in February and just filled up now. You can also see how the leaves, that's really loose? There's a lot of cover here. So if there was a frog hiding, it would be pretty hard to find the frog ducked in to all these floating leaves. That's a great cover for them. And they need that cover. Remember, there are things that are going to be looking to eat them. The amphibians are going to be hunted by owls might come down and try and eat them, raccoons, even a fox. So there are plenty of things that are going to be looking out for amphibians and maybe coming into these little pools to try and find them. So over here I see there's a big white oak. This is down. It's been cut up so that people can get through it. Okay. Someone's asking where I am. I'm at Chatfield Hollow State Park, which is located in Killingworth, Connecticut. Make sure you guys put up where you're sending me messages from. I love to see that. Ernie from Florida. I used to work for Ernie at another state park a long time ago. We worked at Rocky Neck together. So that's a park that I would love to take you guys on a tour of. There are some amazing things at Rocky Neck State Park. We're going to have to get there. These are white pines, little white pines starting to pop up here. Very cool. I love the white pines. White pines grow really fast. Oh, here's a good one in the open so you can see it. They grow really fast, get pretty big. They don't live very long. They get big. They drop a lot of branches, a lot of pine needles, and a lot of sap. So not something you want to have near your parking lot. There's another American beech. And I don't know if you guys can see off in the distance there. That's the Chatfield Hollow Pond. So we're walking towards the pond. All right. Now look at the knot. You can see that tree right there. Looks like a big branch came off the side of it at some point. I'm not seeing anything around, so it may have been cleaned up. We're in an area near the picnic area, so they may come and clean them up. I don't know if anybody remembers, I talked about the birch tree, the river birch. I love the river birch. They get this curly bark. Oh, and right there's a poured shelf fungus. That's a fungus that creates a little shelf like that. You can see the pores on the bottom. These names are really easy, right? It's a shelf and it has pores on the bottom, so it's a poured shelf fungus. Very cool. I love those. Let's keep going. So this area over here, now this doesn't look like it's vernal because it looks like it's part of the main pond, but it may dry up like a vernal pool. Let's look and see if we can see any eggs. I'm not seeing any eggs here. I'm seeing some seeds on the ground. All right. This is like my favorite thing to do, and you guys get to do it with me. We get to look around and see what sorts of things. When I do this, I'm really not looking for things that I know about. I'm really looking for things that I don't know about. So that fungus that I found there, that was really cool. I'd love to find out what it is. Oh, here's something. See this little green right here? Unfortunately, that's another one of our invasive species. That's a multiflora rose. That could get into a big rose plant. Not native. Europeans brought roses everywhere. They love the roses. There's another spathe of the skunk cabbage. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but how can you walk past a log across water without walking across it? You just gotta do this, right? Oh, and there's something interesting. Inside the log is water. That is so cool. I don't know that I've ever seen that much water in a log like that before. All right. So let's go across. And there's not really any place to go to over here. Very cool. Lots of thick. So it's nice and thick around the pond here. Fishermen will tromp through there to get out and find a nice place to cast. I prefer to cast where it's already open. You can see some grapevine growing around over there. So that's really cool. And an osprey just hit the water right there. I don't know if you guys saw it. That was so cool. He's flying away. Does he have a fish? Shaking his wings. I don't know if you can see this, but an osprey just dove right into the pond. It missed a fish. It's circling back. Here it comes. That was really cool. I hope you guys got to see it. All right. Somebody's commenting waterlogged. That's very clever. All right, let's cross back. These downed trees make excellent highways through the forest. Except there's a branch there I had to get by. All right. Well, we're coming up on the picnic area. That was really cool. That osprey hit the water, and I don't think I had the camera pointed at it at the time, but that was neat. Oh, here you go. So we were talking about white pines. This is a nice big white pine. Looks pretty healthy. A lot of times they'll get like splits. Actually, there looks like there might be a fork way up there, and that's where they like to break off. If you get a nice long straight one, they'll last a long time, or a lot longer than the other ones. Lots of grapevine over there. All right. So what I'm going to do, let's turn the camera back around. All right. I hope everybody enjoyed this little walk through the woods at Chatfield Hollow State Park. Excellent place to go hiking. I'm going to remind everyone to keep your social distance, even if you're outside. If you're hiking on a trail, if you're not on wherever you are, keep your social distance. 3 possums distance between you and the person next to you. If you don't know how long 3 possums is, it's the wingspan of a bald eagle. So keep a wingspan of a bald eagle away from one another. Great way to keep your social distance. You can tell people, I'm trying to keep possums away from you. And I don't know, that didn't turn out very well. So keep tuning in. If you like us or follow us on Facebook, that gives us an opportunity to reach more people. The more of your friends that know how much you're enjoying it, then maybe they might enjoy it as well. We are going to be doing a virtual Easter egg hunt. There'll be a 360 picture. That's going to be on our website. You'll be able to pan around using your mouse or your finger, whatever device you're on, and count how many eggs you can find. And that will be up in for Easter. Probably we'll put it up Sunday. We'll be doing lots of other things coming up. I'm trying to set up a time where we can have one of our local authors. He's written many books about wild animals, and he's going to read one of those books. We'll probably record it and then put that up for one of our 2 o'clock programs. So you don't have to see me do all of these programs. We'll get some other people involved. We'll reach out and see if I can find maybe one of the biologists or a tree person to do a talk about trees. We want to expand this. We want to encompass lots of different parks, lots of different people, and keep this education going for all of you. As long as this is going on, as long as we have to maintain social distance and we're not able to open the Meigs Point Nature Center, I would like to keep bringing you these programs. So keep giving us thumbs up, positive feedbacks, and that'll keep us going. I love to see it. It's gives me energy every time one of you get excited about one of the things I'm talking about. So let's keep it going, and check in on our website, Easter. You'll get to see a virtual Easter egg hunt. Thank you all for tuning in.